So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this gloriously rainy day here in East Texas in August. Now we don't get many of those, so we're going to take advantage of this one. It's a little bit drizzling right now, and if it comes down a lot, I'm going to take off my cowboy hat and put you over you guys. But yesterday when I came out to water the cows, we had a problem. It was starting to get like, you know, the storm was starting to roll in and everything, and for some reason they were spooked. They were completely spooked, and 5 of them actually jumped the just the paddock fence, so they're in the other paddock. Well, I tried getting them in, and they're I don't know what's up with them. They're just spooked, and I can't get them back in. So I end up, you know, moving them around, opening wires, and I'm letting the whole herd out of the paddock because they want to go with the big girls. Those are the 5 that got out. And it just became a nightmare. And because I turned the Energizer off, they started jumping the fences and it just became a whole issue. So I figured, okay, when cows get spooked like that, it doesn't happen very often. I think it's only happened like once before. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I'm gonna leave them out, and they're in like 4 or 5 paddocks right now. And then this morning, I'm gonna go and get them all back together. Hopefully it works. Hopefully they've calmed down a bit, because it was just weird. And let's cross our fingers. See, there they all are, right here and all the way over there, and they belong all the way over there. And I actually had to close this gate today, or yesterday, because I was worried about them jumping everything. And there's Skywalker in the middle. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. Let's see. What's up, you little rascal? Get back with your mama and get back with the herd. He's gonna run. Come on, dude. Come on, little buddy. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go through the wire. I know you. He's starting to get tall enough to where he actually will, looks like he knows the dip underneath because he'll get shocked. Yep, there you go, he got shocked. He's gonna learn about the electric fence real soon. There we go, good. Hopefully this will get him starting to get trained. Because the wire, it's about, I don't know, probably about 32, 34 inches up. And he's starting to hit it now, so he'll get trained. Turn the Energizer off. And this here is the paddock where we need the cows. We need them in here one more day. They just need one more day. It's a little bit weedy, and I wish that I would have had them in here before the rain came. That way I could mow this down, and then the rain comes and helps bring it back all up. But I'll take the rain any day of the week. So now we're gonna see if this works. Okay. Hey, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Alright, I think I'll settle for the next paddock over, because they're spread out across 1, 2, 3, and 4 different paddocks. Well, actually 5 different paddocks. Count the one that they got out of, and that's open to them. So the next paddock over, they didn't want to come back to that one because they see, oh, there's littler grass there, a lot less grass there. Yeah, well, I want them to eat that grass, and it's kind of grown up in weeds, so that's probably why they didn't want to go over there. They see it and they go, that doesn't look too appetizing. So I'll take this. So I'll settle for this. This is fine. I'm gonna leave this open here to where they should go back, and I'm gonna leave their water in this paddock here to where it'll force them to come over here, and then maybe they mosey on over there. I mean, you try and be as perfect as you can get, you know. Oh, you know, we want the cows on this amount of square footage for this many days on this amount of forage. But the reality is that, you know, it's just a suggestion. These electric fences and everything, I mean, look, I mean, that holds in thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of beef. That's crazy. Even holds in the llamas. So it truly is just a suggestion. And, you know, for those of you getting started in this, it takes some time. It takes some time. And, you know, it's not like the cows are going to be trained right away. You know, when we first got our cows, oh my gosh, they would get out, they get out. That's why, like, this whole lane setup I have here, I would never use this. Just, you know, look, this whole setup right here, it's a T-post, one wire there, one wire there. Some 17 gauge on the bottom and poly wire on the top. I would never in a million years use that as a perimeter fence. There's no way. There's no way. Why? Because they're gonna jump it. This is just a suggestion. This is just a management style that will help the grasses grow, that'll help the cows grow, and you know what? Helps our bank account grow, really. But the thing is, you can't depend on this as a perimeter fence, because inevitably the cows are gonna get out. If something spooks them, they're gonna jump it. If you don't move them fast enough, then they'll jump it. And then some days, it's just the way it is. The cows will get a little bit wild. They might come into heat. They might do something to where, you know what? They just might even be sassy and say, I'm gonna jump this. I'm gonna go over there because that grass is fresher. And you gotta be able to take what you can get. I mean, they're not like a dog to where, you know, if they poop in the house, you can go hold their nose up to it and say, no. You know, these are cows. If you go and try and grab their nose and say, hold it up to the wire and go, no, guess what? They're gonna look at you, throw you back, and probably, you know, make you a shish kebab. And the point is that when the cows, 98, 99 times out of 100, they're great. They stay in their paddock. They'll move when I call them. They'll do basically whatever I tell them to. The 1 or 2 times that they don't, as long as they're inside, you know, your farm, inside the perimeter of your farm, it's just gonna happen. So what should you do when they get out? Because it's inevitably gonna happen. You kind of got to look at them and you kind of got to see, okay, they are out for why? Whatever reason it is. Are they out of grass? Okay, then it might be time to move them. If they got spooked, okay, it might be time to let them calm down a little bit and then get them in later. If they just opted to go get better grass, then try and get them in. You know, and the way that I do it is when the cows are out, I carry one of these sticks with me, these posts, and I'll take this top gate wire, walk it into the paddock that they need to go back into, and kind of come on this angle here. Stick the gate post in, or the temporary post in. I wish I would have bought one that didn't have a broken clip there. But create like a funnel. And you want to do it this way, at least from my experience, is that you kind of create a funnel for the cow to go back into. You see, when you walk it back, it'll figure out, okay, it needs to go that way in between that wire and that post there. And they'll just walk in. But this right here, more importantly, what it does is it keeps the rest of the herd from just coming right on through. Which then, that's what happened yesterday, and that'll be a nightmare. And the reason that happened yesterday is because I didn't follow my own rule. They were actually out in this paddock here, and I said, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna try and bring them across the way. Just gonna try and bring them across the way, no problem. So I turned off the Energizer, I took this wire down, and that wire is still down, you can see it right there. And I was just gonna kind of shoot them across, okay, no problem. Problem was the older cows, the lead cows were over here. The whole herd was here, so as soon as I took down that wire and I put it across to where they couldn't go back down the lane that way, the younger ones here followed the older ones over there and they went out. So when I tried herding them back, they saw the tubs here, their water troughs, and they decided to go that way, all the way down the lane. And me being kind of dumb, I left one of the gates down over there, so some of them went in there, and then I leave all these gates down so it doesn't put a ton of pressure on the Energizer, the different paddock gates. And yeah, they started running all around here. I tried getting them back. They were not having any of it. They were just acting kind of wild, and they were bucking, and you know, they just weren't acting normal. Instead of trying to force them and just creating more frustration on me, I said, you know what, leave them out for the night. No big deal. See, it's not a big deal for us because there's a permanent fence that they can't get through that runs all the way there to keep them from getting to the other side of the farm and actually in the permanent paddock and the corrals. So they were really only going a couple paddocks over. Now, if this was set up differently and, you know, there was 30 paddocks that way, I would have probably done something a little bit differently. I probably would have taken the Energizer, ran it all the way over there, and create a super hot wire, kind of just a line to where they can't cross it to get to the rest of the paddocks. And the reason for that is that I want to keep them, one, closer, and then two, I don't want them to get even close to 12 days ahead as far as their paddocks go, to where they're going over 2 weeks ahead of where they're supposed to be. Now, the reason for that is that because once they drop a manure pat, guess what? In 12 days, the parasites are going to be there, and yeah, the longhorns are a lot more resistant. Yeah, they might not eat around it because, you know, there's just so much grass out here. But better safe than sorry. But whenever you're working with living things, and I view these cows and these llamas as not just living things, but my co-workers, or actually probably more business partners, sometimes you have to compromise and they have to get what they want. Every once in a while, they just, you gotta let them do their thing. It puts a lot less stress on them. And, I could force them to come back in here. I could go and wrangle them all up, and it's fine. They can have a treat day where it's nice, cool. It's 15 degrees lower than it was, actually probably more closer to 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday and this last week, because it's just been scorching hot. But just as long as this isn't a regular occurrence, you know what, just live with it. It's fine, no big deal. Check out the recovery from one side to the next. This is only like a 2-day difference from mowing it. So you look on this side here, even where I did mow, it's starting to come up green again. This rain is really going to help us. I'm really, really happy about it. So you look at over here, that's only 2 days difference. You can see it's starting to poke its head back up. But with this rain now, this is going to explode back, and we're getting rid of a lot of the brambly stuff, and over here a lot of the goatweed, which is great. But I hope this just goes to show you that no matter how, how wired, funny with the wires, that you think that you have it, you know what, things are gonna go wrong. Cows are gonna be cows. You just gotta let them do their thing and work with them rather than force them to do what you want. It's funny because just one of the last videos we posted did that cool video to where I actually brought the cows down the lane and they followed right behind me like they normally do every day. Don't really have to do anything just besides call them, kind of like I called them when they were out over there. But we can go from that, and we had a lot of people asking, how did I train them to do that? And the unfortunate answer is for you, is that it took a whole lot of days of me doing what I just did, trying to get them back, trying to wrangle them up, in order to get to a point to where I just open a gate, I walk and I call them, and they'll follow me. I mean, it's just time. The time, effort, energy, and just building the trust with the cows. How much time have I spent with you? We've had you a year yesterday. You and Dolly actually have been the best investment on this farm so far. Why? Because that thing running right next to Dolly right there, that's little Skywalker. That's her sister. But that's just the reality. In order for them to follow like this, come on, cows, come on. You're gonna have a lot of days like this in the beginning. And you just gotta love it. Even when things go bad, you gotta realize that you're out with, your animals. And that's not so bad, even if they're not listening. There's always gonna be someone stuck at a desk hating their life because they hate their job and they hate what they do. So you still just gotta consider yourself very lucky. So Apollo, you wanna sign us off? You gonna tell us? Nope, you don't want to. Okay, fine. I'll do it. So if you want to continue following our imperfect journey here, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and drop a comment if you like, alright? Till next time, see ya.